Hello everyone. So today we are here with another game of CBA, and this time we are playing as Italians. So Italians do get the elite enemies crossbowmen, which are very strong against any cavalry or any offensive. I mean, they shred everything to pieces if they are in large numbers and are blocked by some sort of a meat shield. With Spanish, here we have Spanish as well as the elite Karambit warriors as Malay, probably the weakest unit in the game. However, should do fine if played well because of the Spanish player. On the other side, we have in green we have the Korean player, very strong on this side. We have the Khmer player with battle elephant with 250 HP and 13 attack. This side matchup is extremely difficult to handle. Here we have elite Kabito warriors, which are a pretty good unit. However, these the Vietnamese archers and Chinese women should do very well against them. And then we have the Persians. If we did not have Italians and Vietnamese on this side, I think this was a lost cause, and I would have resigned straight away. However, I think we are able to hold this. As you can see, these elite Chinese crossbowmen eat elephants for dinner and lunch. And with the addition of these, I think it is pretty easy to handle this situation. On the other side, these elephants come. I think the Spanish player should block these gates and then go into inside his wall and try to kill these elephants, while the Grey should not take this engagement and directly go for the races on the Persian, because Persian is very slow. But he is not doing so, and again I think that shows inexperience on his side. However, it can't be played. I mean, he's playing to the best of his ability. Let's respect that. While Spanish player doing exactly what I asked him to do. Just stay inside the walls, try to kill as many elephants as possible, while these enemies go crossbowmen try and get a race. Once they get a race, try to swarm in knights over here to act as a meat shield for the Spanish player. Try to set up Malay player so that he can make archers after that. Having said that, I think these Karambit warriors should do very well against these war wagons. However, these war wagons are not being prioritized over here, and with addition of blue in the front while war wagons fire in the back, I think it is very good play by blue. And on the other side, well, I say that Grey is trying to prioritize the race, which is an extremely good move on his part. If he is able to kill the gate, I think he should make archer, and we should give in fairly easily in this situation. I don't think he can get the race. If he tries to prioritize all the units over here, I think he can. Well, meanwhile, on the other side, the Vito warrior is relatively untouched, and we can't do anything about it. While these Genovese crossbowmen trying to get the race, I think yeah, that's a great move. Try to get the race, wall up yourself and wall the opponent. These enemies crossbowmen will eat these elephants, so there is nothing to see over here. I think the more interesting side is over here, where the Spanish player and Grey are trying their best to get the race. I don't know who got the race over here, but I am not sure if okay. The best thing for the Grey player to do over here, for the Malay player, is to make walls and try to build archery ranges as soon as these walls are up. I think while walling his base, he should also try and wall the Spanish player so that these elephants don't go over here. Meanwhile, the Spanish player is doing an amazing job stopping these elephants to go inside and staying inside the walls. While I say this, the Italians do have their race, tries to wall so that the Persian player can't come down. Italians can easily take elite Cavilary warriors for lunch any day of the week, and I think this is a mistake. I think Red should probably wall his teammates so that this team is not able to take the race. So he's doing a mistake by building this. However, for the time being, that this is Does not seem like a very big mistake because we don't have any civ that can easily take the races. Okay. I think that is a very great move. First fall of your base. I think Spanish player could have been walled, but I think with the level that Spanish player is playing, I think prioritizing archers over here is also a great move. On the other side, indeed, enemies cross movement wall in these two civs. Hence, I think Vietnamese player can handle both of these. So elite Jeremy's cross movement can take out blue as well as green, at the same time. It is a very great, very good move from this team. While I don't think this is a very good move. I don't know why, but Spanish player. Okay, so the Spanish player is trying to wall so that these elephants don't get in, and this is a great move. As I said, prioritizing walls over units is a fair play in the starting of the game, and quick walling so that these elephants don't go inside is a very great way. Now I think there should be walls inside to avoid this gate from being torn apart, and even if this gate does get torn, there is no impact. Elites with enemies cross movement are weak towards war wagons. Going back
to build the castle, you must first advance to the next stage, the castle.
Hunted down by the enemies, so getting sandwiched over here, and it's a great play, rainbowing all of these together. But as I say this, now the orange is in a great position to shred all of these elephants, and once these elephants are shredded, I think there is a lot of damage that can be done. Okay. Let's pause over here. So I think in this situation, I think the orange player and the pink player are trying to fight forward and not in their base to buy time. The time needs to be bought so that he can wall his base. Orange player can wall his base. The pink player can wall his. Oh, sorry for the pause. I think so. As I was saying, I think these enemies cross movement are doing a fantastic job keeping two players at bay over here. Persian alone is so deadly; he can take two players at a time. So this is a great move. It doesn't matter how many races does Red get, as long as he is in the car, he is not reaching castle. And if he takes too many races, if it takes too many gates like he is doing in this situation, I think that is very good for us, because every race for him, he already has villager. Every race for him means less villagers for others, and that is a great thing. That's a great thing for me. Meanwhile, Persian, the Spanish doing the right thing, trying to protect these gates from being raised, because once these gates are raised, he can produce units, pump out units, which we don't want obviously, and the Spanish player is very good in this situation. I'm a bit disappointed with Karambit because he should have had a lot of archery by now. However, because there are no elements, these Karambits are shredding these elite war wagons, even though they have 150 HP because of the bonus damage, and because they have 11 damage. On this side though, I think this is a very great move, and you will see these Garrido warriors will go down fairly easily. Meanwhile, the pink team this side is trying to keep these elephants to come here while this wall gets completed. Now, with the addition of civs and possibly camels or knights, either are good in this situation. I think using these units on this side to stop both of these in their tracks while sending other units to the other side is a great move. Hang on a minute. Again. Spanish player is doing a very good job stopping these elements to get the race, and if he is protecting this race, soon these knights will swarm in over to this side and completely block off blue and the Koreans, and knights will probably shred these Koreans. Hence, only these elephants that are easily countered by Spanish will be left, and I think this game is easily won from this situation. Only thing we need is zoning in knights, and Vietnamese is not even making anything. As I say this, I have reached Imperial Age, and in the Imperial Age, I think we can make Cavalier, and Cavalier are very strong in it. Even though Arbalest would have been a better choice, but seeing the situation, a lot of uh, we need a lot of meat shield in this situation, and I think Cavalry does really well in this area in general, while other people get risen. Also, deal the grey player is making Arbalest, hence me going Cavalier is the rather good choice instead of going Arbalest. These are Imperial enemies crossbowmen with +3 and 6+3 attack. Should do fairly well against the elephant, which are fairly weak, and the enemies crossbowmen have a very high bonus damage against these elephants, and should do really well. Now, as the knights are about to get bumped, these knights are not being bumped currently because whenever the orange player or starts pumping out knights, these enemies crossbowmen won't be able to spawn because of the pop cap. Hence, due to the game mechanics, is the best solution to get these as many enemies crossbowmen out in the field as possible, and then start pumping out the knights, which the orange player or me will start to do. I think walling is a blue. This protects blue from getting in over here, and these archers are doing their work, trying to kill. An addition of these pikemen is a great move again, because pikemen adds the meat shield as well as kills blue, which is always accepted. Again, this is a great move, distracting the Korean player, and then the Spanish player can get raised over here. So in this situation, I think they will be able to hold. Even if these units get killed, these units will come here and they will be able to hold here. And due to this fall, I think this is a great looking in great shape. Blue player tries to come over here. Again, very bad move, because Vietnamese as well as enemies crossbowmen have got advantage. I think he's probably looking for raise. Why he's looking for raise? Because he is in the castle age and he can pump out knight, which would be a great choice. And as said, Spanish player is holding Koreans in place, which is great. Watch these elephants getting shredded. I mean, look at the 250 HP. Even though it has +5 attack, the Persian player with 450 HP and +1 was not able to stand. Do you think these elephants will stand? They have no chance. I mean, they will get shredded like scum by scouts. Look at this. Blue player has no chance over here. Even though 2 elephant civs come directly along with the Gabito warriors, they won't be able to do anything over here. And these Gabito warriors will be shredded by these Imperial upgraded scum. Still no Cavalier from blue, because the enemy's crossbowmen are doing pretty well, while these are trying to. Well, I say this, the grey player has started to add knights and pikemen along with archers, which will soon be arbalest because of the Koreans. Koreans are very strong against archers, and these knights should do fairly well killing these off. The Korean player is getting desperate, and the blue player is also getting desperate, trying to get kills as well as trying very hard to get raises so that they can pump out units. And they have seen that only win condition is that blue player and green player get raised at any expense, which they are trying to do. These enemies crossbowmen are now strong enough to take down these elite war wagons by themselves, and Grey is out there to help. I don't think he will get raised on this building if the orange player, even if the orange player allows him. While the enemies crossbowmen doing work over here, these elephants stand no chance. Again, now the pumping of knight begin, because it is seen that the blue player as well as the Koreans are coming over here, and pumping out knight is a great move. I think he is looking at this weak siege workshop and trying to get resist, but I don't think these elephants will even reach over here and do any amount of damage that requires immediate attention. While Koreans does come and tries to get this race. Looking at this, I think this is a great move by him, but I think this is too late. There is no way they can get the race, and prioritizing race over here is stupid, because the great player has the great good job walling this area and try to bring as many units as I said, this was very late, and now because this siege workshop was very weak, I think deleting it was a better choice, and building a new one was even better choice. But I think walling the base from here to here is a better move like this, because then it prevents any sort of attack. Now what should happen is these enemies should go over here and try to keep orange and yellow at bay, while these Vietnamese archers should go over here and try to keep these knights as well as red. Also, I think these cavaliers should be shown in over here so that blue and green can be kept away. So basically it's a 3v2 on this side, and it's a 2v2 on this side with OP units on this side. So I think this is how we win. So 2v2 on this side with enemies crossbowmen and Vietnamese on this side are very strong. Keep them at bay without even these cavaliers, and then swarming in half the cavalier on this side along with these knights performs a 3v2 on this side is very OP and keeping all these. Meanwhile, Spanish players should prioritize making paladins as well as rams to kill this area off. So this game is one and the other, and there is no point watching this game further but to enjoy the fight and how this game pans out. The rams are being massed here and should be sent one by one, all at mass at once over here. While blue players still tries to get the race, however, this time the Genovese crossbowmen are in the wrong area, so you might be able to get to these. However, if we are not careful, we may get raised. I don't think that will happen, because there are too many present over here along with halberdiers, which are very strong against any cavalry unit and any element. Blue wiped off pretty much as expected. I think the enemy's crossbowmen standing on here is a bad move, because these are limited in number and they should be standing ground over here. However, since there are a lot of units, I think it's fair to say there is no problem in doing that. As I say this, the arbalists and the pikemen, the halberdiers coming from Spanish, I think paladins will soon start to spawn in. Let's go to the view of the Spanish and see if the paladin is being researched. In fact, as a matter of fact, it is not being researched. I think he is busy taking good fights over here. The rams are being collected and should be sent all at once to kill the castle. Look at these rams will act as a great meat shield while these enemies crossbowmen kill these elephants. And the enemies crossbowmen don't get additional damage because they are in limited number. As you can see, there is no enemies crossbowmen being spawned because my population or their population is already above 100. So if your population is above 100, the castle units stop spawning. Also keep in mind that these units are sitting idle. So in CBA, none of your units should sit idle, rather should be attacking. So always try to look back at your base and try to keep it. While you are pumping out knights and you are winning on your side, try to add the rams and try to, because the rams act as a great meat shield as well as they do a fantastic job at taking the arrow fire while your units kill the other units. So these knights will take out these units, these rams will try to kill the castle or at least absorb all the arrows, and then finally I think these cavaliers can swarm in and try to kill the castle. So all rams going in, 36 rams going all in this direction. So these cavaliers should try and kill these units while these rams go and kill the castle. So very strong play over there. While the arbalest and the Spanish player casing in blue who don't have raises at all. So there's a very fantastic job trying to keep green as well as blue at bay. While walls coming in from the grey player, I think this is a very good move by grey. But this gate is not good. I think this can be raised fairly easily. I think instead of having a wall and gating like this is a better move, because only one elephant can fit in and this gate will not get killed without the ranged units. While yellow is able to keep this ram push at bay, I think this ram push is not working because of a fantastic job that orange is doing over here. And since my enemy's crossbowmen are in low number, I can't kill yellow over here. So these elephants are pretty strong in this direction. But since we are winning in this direction, I think the grey player should be adding rams now. Since I am the only one pulling out these rams, I don't think we are doing a very fantastic job. While over here, I think grey should make paladins, have many rams over here, stop making these spikes and make rams instead. Having said that, I think we can't throw this game now. This army population is very strong. As I say this, red has got a lot of units, but production from red is not as good as the production from orange. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 2, 8, 12 and 15 stables, as well as 10 siege workshops, while the only production from red that we see are the 8 stables, which is not a good production at all in this situation. Since my enemy's crossbowmen are dead, now these elephants are free to run, and you will see the power of this elephant. Even though we have 200 units running over here, they are not in the right spot and neither can take favorable engagement, and these yellow elephants can spawn in and try to do a lot of damage, hence proving the power of the great enemy's crossbowmen in this. However, since we have got grey with the raises and grey is playing particularly well, I think this game is very winnable. And if so now let's discuss what is a great strategy so that red and yellow, this team can win. Okay, now let's discuss the strategy in which case this team can win. So firstly, I don't think that blue and green can do anything except to stay in the base and not beat the kills. The reason I say this is because of the halberdier production over here and quite frankly the number of units that are present over here, which are overpowering the green. So a good thing to do would be for red to be building inside of yellow's base, try to get 20 stables up. So there are 8 stables from red. Try to get 20 stables from the red over here and try to pump out cavalier, as well as if you have camels, try to pump out camels, because all that the orange player and the blue player are that are countered by camels and cavalier. The production number is what he needs. We see red's point of view, he only has 84 units, which is pretty sad to be honest. On the other hand, look at the production of orange with 15 plus 10 buildings, that is 25 buildings. He is sitting at 131 with, look at the queue. He is producing around 20-25 units at a single time, and this number will go up if he starts to win in this situation. As you see, these are being trusted, and you will see these numbers go up as and as the game progresses. I think there is more production to be added from Orange. However, since there is no space and buildings over here risk getting raised by this team, I think that is a great move not to expand beyond what is the line of safety over here. While I say this, the teal player is getting paladins, which should turn things in our favor now. Let's go to his perspective and see what's up about what BGOGS is making. The paladin is queued and he has 7 civils. I think 7 civils are way too low. However, he has Harbidier production, which I think offsets for the paladin production. But since he has got the paladin, I think he should add 20 civils and pump out 20 paladins at once. As you see, because there is ample amount of space available over here. Pikes are pretty weak. Pikes only have 60 HP and they don't resist arrow fire, while a paladin has 150 HP. 150 HP, 7 PS armor, 18 attack and 5 melee armor. So paladin is in every way stronger than him, while still trying to get there. I think that is the best way you can go for trying to get those raises and not while yellow is holding 50. None of the units that we are building is countering yellow as well as is not countering red. If I make ramps, the red kills ramps very easily, and these ramps are not able to. These walls are helping a lot by pushing on this side. However, on this side, since this grey has got paladin, so these elephants are equally strong as these paladins, and by using the halberdiers clean this blue mass and then walk the paladins right into the castle and kill the castle. That is the play over there. I think these halberdiers should be taking out these elephants and these paladins should walk right into it. The opposite is being done, which is I think is okay. And they are doing so. So these halberdiers are taking out the elephants and the paladins are taking out the right over there. While I will just need to go and not give yellow any raises. Orange is doing a good job holding these Persian elephants. These Persians take out the Cavalier more time, so it's a 3-1 trade. However, due to the insane production that these provide, I think it's going fairly well over in this direction. And once these halberdiers are added and kills out yellow, I think it's easy on this side as well. While Orange just try to go take rank over here, which is the right move. Should redirect the direction over here while green gets a raise. Let's see what two Koreans get. So Koreans get heavy cavalry archers, and then they have hussars, cavalier. Onagers are now they get captrams. So okay, and they do get halberdier. They get heavy cavalry archer. Okay, but they don't get Parthian tactics, which applies +4 attack and +2 attack. So I think green is a very weak player, and he's trying to build castles. Keeps are very weak in this game. Instead of making keeps, try to make as many units as possible. So what should green do in this situation? Delete this gate, make many archery ranges, so around 12 to 14 archery ranges, and pump out cavalry archers, because cavalry archers are very strong and way stronger than arbalists. However, having said that, it's very late for that. He should have walled his way very early on, try to make many cavalry archers and gone from there. However, I think that was pretty late as well, because we have already taken down blue. Blue can't produce because these knights can't stop the production of the elephants. Hence blue is dead while green is being cased by these paladins and condottiers on the side, which take a lot of arrow fire. So making condottiers is a great move, because Koreans are unable to kill condottiers very easily. So blue is dead. While in this situation we